So I had a question, is Genshin actually dying? In this video I'm gonna answer that question with a comparison between Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact. So before we start, I'm gonna give a very good disclaimer, but I'm not gonna give the disclaimer right now. Why? I don't know. I'm gonna give that disclaimer and my opinion on both games at the very end of the video. And I had the mic, okay. These are the aspects I'm gonna compare both games at. We have banner system, resin system, artifact system, domain and farming rewards, combat system, story and voice dub.
You're not going anywhere.
The first aspect I'm gonna compare both games in this video is banners, which is the most important thing in both of the games. It's where you get the characters, you know? So, let's start with Genshin Impact. Genshin gives you 5 types of banners. The still new beginner banner, or aka the Noel banner, where you get just a guaranteed 4-star, you don't really guarantee a 5-star here. The standard banner, where you get a 5-star every single year. And the weapon banner, which was a scam banner, but now, still a scam banner. The chronicled wish, and the normal banner, which is the event banner. There's nothing really going on weird on this banner. 4 of these banners has a 0.6% chance to get a 5-star before the soft pity, which is the same percentage that you have showered in the last month. And the scam banner or the open banner has a 0.7% chance to get 5-star before the soft pity hits, which is 64, the same chance that you went to the gym for the last month. The beginner banner only offers you 20 pulls, which I told you is guaranteed only a 4-star, which is Noel. The weapon banner, oh well.
What's this f***ing piece of shit?
The chronicled wish, it's still a new one, so I'm not gonna really, count it. It's good, but not good enough, Wuthering Waves has like a million banners. A guarantee 5-star standard, a choice 5-star standard, a choice weapon banner standard, a guarantee event weapon banner, and the normal event banner, which all of them have a max speed of 80 rather than 90. This point easily goes to Wuthering Waves. We'll go to the second point, the Reisin Waveplates. This is one of the most controversial things I'm gonna say, probably. But objectively speaking right now, okay? After I'm gonna explain, just hold up. We start with Genshin. The refresh rate of Reisin in Genshin Impact is a whole 8 minutes for one Reisin, which is actually pretty good. You know why? Because while waiting for that one Reisin, I can get off the game and maybe take a shower or cry in the shower. And the most important thing I do, I get to touch some beautiful grass. Wait, I don't have grass. And as you see, there isn't still, not refreshed yet. There's so much time that I can do so much with it, It's actually pretty healthy for you. Also, in the last update, 4.7 in Genshin, we got the resin cap increased from 160 to 200. It's pretty good, you know why? I can play Wuthering Waves more. But in all honesty, the biggest W in Genshin Impact is the resin cost is actually not high. The minimum cost is 20 and the average cost is 40 with the condensed resin, and the max cost is 60 after the discount of the weekly boss, which is 30. And for Wuthering Waves, I have the refresh rate at 6 minutes per one wave plate, which actually I really hate it because I can't go touch some grass, maybe I went too much with these jokes, but it still works. All jokes aside, considering the high cost of bosses and tacit fields in Wuthering Waves, also the domains are 40, for minimum. Wuthering Waves in that regard lags a little behind because the cost is too high. That means the wave plates are actually not that enough. So for now, I'll give that point to Genshin. Yes, to Genshin. The cost is too much for Wuthering Waves, and you need to fight a lot of bosses. You need to fight the weekly bosses, world bosses, and also the tacit field probably in the end game is gonna be a big one. So until they make a reserve system just like Honkai Star Rail, I'm gonna give that point to Genshin Impact. Artifacts versus echoes. This one is a bit tricky, but I can give an objective opinion and a subjective opinion too on it. The artifacts are pretty easy to farm. You can farm them like 10 minutes a day and you're pretty done with it. You have a small progress in your pocket, you know. It can be very tricky to get good artifacts, but the set is guaranteed for your, farming. The biggest problem with the artifact system is very capped by the Reisin. That means you cannot really do more than 5 times a day if you're free to play. So it is very capped and does not make you play the game a lot. While Wuthering Waves, on the other hand, the echoes are quite hard to farm. You know why? It takes the years that you needed just to go to the gym. It's very frustrating. It takes like an hour to get one echo or something, maybe good. No, it's not even guaranteed. Because the drop rate of the echo is 20% and the set on the 3 cost and 1 cost are not guaranteed. They can't be really, electro as you wanted all the time. Beside the boss, only the bosses, will go for the respective element. It's hard to get actually good echoes, just like it has like the same percentage I think as Genshin or higher. The good thing about it is not capped by Reisin or Waveplates, but it takes so much time to actually farm. For a player who does not play a lot, like let's say play 30 minutes, just log in, do his dailies and get out, the ecosystem is by far worse than the artifact system, and vice versa. If you play Wuthering Waves a lot and you have so much time to play, the artifact system just limits you so much, and by far the ecosystem is better. For now, you have actually the option to farm echoes using your Waveplates. So I'm gonna put the point to Wuthering Waves, but it's actually really close. Like kinda frustrating for me farming echoes because I don't really have much time. I'm trying to make a lot of videos right now, which is quite frustrating for me. But objectively speaking, yeah, Wuthering Waves takes that point because if you can play, you can get a lot more. The next point is domain and farming, and overall farming in both games. Genshin is very generous with the discount for the weekly bosses, actually giving us 30 compared to 60 in Wuthering Waves, only for the first 3 weekly bosses. In Genshin Impact, you can farm every single weekly boss, but 1 time in a single week. On the other hand, Wuthering Waves allows you to farm any bosses only 3 times. So you can farm the same boss 3 times, but it's only 3 times in the whole week. Genshin Impact domains are easier to farm. They don't take much time. They take like 20 seconds per run or 30 seconds at max. While Wuthering Waves takes like a minute per 1 run in each domain. It is not too much, but still more time. Wuthering Waves domains actually available at any time for the weapons and the talents. But for Genshin, no, they are like limited by certain days in the week, which is 3 days per week for each type. It's not too bad, but it's not very good. The biggest problem with Wuthering Waves right now, it's actually the echoes upgrading materials, which they are like none. Overall, I'll give that point to Genshin Impact, but they are actually very close, but I will not give each one a point. I will give it to Genshin Impact. The next thing we have, it's rewards, and I don't have to explain anything. Just watch this small edit. So point easily goes to Wuthering Waves. The combat system. Genshin Impact combat system is actually like a joke for Wuthering Waves right now, but it's more casual than anything. Wuthering Waves has much more mechanics, much cooler. You can say whatever you like. That does not mean that Genshin Impact has a bad combat system. It's actually good, but it's just more casual. So overall, I'll give that point also to Wuthering Waves. The next thing, and something that I really disliked about Wuthering Waves, is the voice dub. The English dub in Wuthering Waves, it has a lot of memes in the internet, and you can just go see them. I just made one in this video, and I think I'll give you one more.
You're not going anywhere.
I wish they fixed that, because I really want to enjoy the story, but I skipped the first 4 acts of the game just because of that. It was Very bad. The only like characters I can tell that there are actually good voice directions and acting is Scar, Jian, and Kalchara. Kalchara only in combat, we did not see him in the story, so I don't know. Point goes to Genshin. With everything being said right now, the actual better game of the two is none. You know why? Because none of the games are better than the other. But which game is better in the aspects I compared? It's Wuthering Waves, with a 1 point lead in these aspects. There's much more many aspects I can compare both games at, but as of now, I think these are the most important stuff and we should focus on them and fixing each one in every game. I'm just back from killing a cockroach. Let me actually give you my opinion and the overall things about this comparison. Which game is actually better or more enjoyable is not determined by any of these aspects, it is for you to determine. So, for me, I enjoy both games, and actually I enjoy Genshin a little more, not too much. For honestly, both games are great, both free games, so I mean, why not try them? If you didn't like it, you can just, quit it, just not play it anymore. So, I had fun making this video. I would like to say something. Please in the comments tell me all your thoughts and actually make arguments on why this exfil could be better for each game, and I will try to respond for each comment. I actually enjoy these, but just be, respectful of the things. Have a great day. I don't know how to end the video. It's ridiculous. I just left like YouTube for 1 year and I don't know how to make an outro because the outro is just irrelevant right now. Have a great day, guys.